Hello there, our esteemed viewers on this favorite mathematics YouTube channel, Mathematics by Abu Zainab. That channel is specially created for you and I to demystify mathematics and tackle the age-long phobia associated with this all-important subject, one topic at a time. Today's class promises to be as interesting, exciting, and most importantly, fun as the previous ones. We are looking at a review of the various methods of solving quadratic equations, which we have dealt with in the previous videos. In our last videos, we have explained the concept of quadratic equation, the methods of solution, which include factorization, completing the square, and the formula method. Today, however, we are going to look at a single example from a different perspective entirely to solve a quadratic equation using the three different methods taught so far. Dive in and let's have fun. So we have to solve 4y squared minus 9 equals 0. That's the question we have to solve using the three methods really. Now, to start with, this question is not yet in the standard form. The standard form has to be such that the three parts are involved. That is, we have 4y squared plus 0y minus 9 equals 0. This is the full question in the standard form. Because in the standard form, we've got the y squared part, we've got the y part, and we have the constant. It's only here we can now go ahead without any issues whatsoever. So if you have to solve this by factorization method, how do we go by it? So by factorization, as usual, we need to multiply the coefficient of the squared value, which is 4 in this case, by the constant, which is minus 9. So I'm going to say 4 by minus 9, which is minus 36. Now, the task before us is to think of two factors of minus 36, such that the product of the two factors remain minus 36, and the sum becomes 0, and no other than plus 6 and minus 6, because 6 minus 6 is 0, 6 times minus 6 is minus 36. Hence, we proceed as follows: 4y squared plus 6y minus 6y minus 9 equals 0. Then we pair the terms. So what is common here? We've got 2y, then 2y still plus 3 when you factorize. Then what's common here is minus 3 in brackets. Of necessity, the same content in the previous bracket will be there. So the next thing now is 2y plus 3, which is the term common to the two of them. Then 2y minus 3 equals 0. And as usual, when the product of two terms equals 0, it's either the first or the second is 0, meaning 2y plus 3 is either 0 or 2y minus 3 is 0. Then we have 2y equals minus 3 or 2y equals plus 3. Then lastly, y is either minus 3 over 2 or y is plus 3 over 2. And that is the solution for that quadratic equation using the factorization method. Without wasting much time, let's go straight to the completing the square method. Completing the square method, as mentioned in the previous videos, is such that the steps have to be meticulously followed, like an algorithm or a set of procedures. So again, for completing the square, the first challenge there, if you remember, is to ensure that we don't have any coefficient there other than 1. So the first challenge is to get rid of this 4, making that place 1. And the only way we can do that is to divide through by 4. So I'm going to have 4y squared plus 0y minus 9 equals 0. So you have divide through by that same 4. And that is reduced to y squared plus 0 over 4y minus 9 over 4 equals 0. Of course, 0 over 4 is still 0, but it has to be there for effect. So you have y squared plus 0 over 4y. Move the constant to the other side. Remember the procedures? After ensuring you have 1 as the coefficient, then you move the constant to the right-hand side. And here comes the main step, which is to add to both sides the square of half the coefficients. So the square of half the coefficients, half of this is still going to be 0 over 8, which of course is 0 indeed. Then the next step is to include in a singular bracket the two terms having squares. And we've got here y plus 0 over 8 all squared equals 9 over 4 plus 0 over 8 all squared obviously is 0. And of course here as well we have just y squared equals 9 over 4. The next step will be to take the square root of both sides. So y will be, and of course we're going to automatically square root of 9 over 4. The moment you take the square root, don't forget we must affix the plus and minus sign automatically. So we have y equals plus or minus 3 over 2, being the root of 9 and root of 4 respectively. So we can now say, okay, this means 3 over 2 positive, or as we are breaking down the plus and minus sign. And that, again, is the solution, which agrees with the root we got for the factorization method. It's quite straightforward, really. All you need to do is to be meticulous in each step all along. Then that takes us to the last method, which indeed is the formula method. For the formula method, all you need to do is to state your parameters, that's A, B, and C accordingly. And not forgetting to include negative if it exists. So A in this case is 4, B is 0, and C is minus 9. Remember the formula is y equals minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. So all you need to do now is to just affix. We have minus 0 plus or minus 0 squared minus 4. A is 4, c is minus 9 over 2a, which is still 4. So we have here minus 0 plus or minus square of 0 is 0. Minus 4 times minus 9 is plus 144. That's 144 over 2 times 4 is 8. Hence we have here minus 0 plus or minus root 0 plus 144 is still 144 over 8. So at this stage, we need to take the square root of 144, which is actually 12 over 8. So regardless of the value here, because it's 0 inconsequential, we just have plus or minus 12 over 8, which in turn is, because we can still break this fraction down. So by 4 goes in 12, 3, 4 goes in 8, 2. Just like the last question, we have plus 3 over 2 or minus 3 over 2. And again, it agrees with the previous two methods of solving the quadratic equation. So that shows you exactly how it pans out if you have to solve any question using any of the three methods. I reiterate that it's very important you know the distinct steps of applying each method, because if the examiner requires you in an exam to use a specific method, then you are duty bound to strictly adhere to that instruction. Even though we are going to get the same answer for the different methods, you have to follow the instruction by sticking to the one you are asked to apply. Otherwise, you get no mark for that question, which we don't desire really. So if you enjoyed the class as much as I did, I hope you found it as fun as possible, do well as usual to subscribe, share, and stay tuned by putting on your notification button so that you'll be the next to know when our video is dropped. Thank you and stay blessed.